Southwest Airlines is back to business as usual, but its recent meltdown has drawn the attention of investors with a history of shareholder activism, most notably New York State's pension system. Let's get to Yahoo Finance's Brad Smith for more on how the airline plans to address its concerns. Never a good thing when you get the attention of activist investors, Brad.
No, not at all. And certainly a lot of the holiday travel turmoil is what sparked some of not just the investigations that made its way all the way up to the Department of Transportation and the Secretary Pete Buttigieg, who had some stark words for the company, but now the New York State Comptroller. What's important to note here within these comments from the Comptroller is how they're classifying what took place and saying clearly this crisis resulted in profound customer dissatisfaction and is expected to generate significant costs to the company. Some of those costs already communicated by the company. Southwest had already forecasted a pre-tax hit of $725 million to upwards of $825 million to its quarterly earnings after this chaos that had ensued over the holiday travel period, where we know that there was a heavy and outsized volume of travelers that were looking to take to the skies. However, the cancellations, they racked up in magnitudes more for Southwest than other airlines, despite some of the travel situation really stemming from headaches around inclement weather. So really putting this into context and how it's going to impact much of the earnings, and that figure that I mentioned of the $725 million to $825 million, now getting more of the pushback from some of the investors on the institutional side. It's important to note that there's about 75% institutional ownership in Southwest Airlines. So when you do have a big investor, especially at the state level that may control a pension fund, it is increasingly important to keep tabs on how exactly, not just from the state and federal government side, Southwest may be looked into and investigated after this tumultuous event that took place over the holiday travel period, but also from some of its most noted investors here, Rochelle.
Indeed, and certainly leading to some leadership changes in several of the departments, really trying to tighten that feedback loop so they don't end up seeing a repeat of that. Great stuff. Brad Smith, thanks for joining me this morning.